Hey guys, it's Bart Johnson here, and today I wanted to share with you some powerful tools for filmmakers. Now, there are lots of tools out there for filmmakers. I'm sure everyone's aware of that. But one of the best tools, believe it or not, is actually one of these, a smartphone, particularly an iPhone. With all of the apps that are out there for these things now, there are tons of ways for you to utilize an iPhone in your filmmaking process. And I've gone through and checked out a ton of the apps that are available out there in the Apple App Store. And I've come up with some of the best recommendations that I wanted to share with you guys that'll hopefully assist you in your filmmaking process. So here we go. Let's dive into the best iOS apps for filmmakers. Now, there are tons of apps out there, and a lot of them specifically allow you to shoot better video on your iPhone. But I wanted to steer away from those kinds of apps and focus more on the apps that actually help you through the production process on a larger scale production using a larger camera with extras, with storyboards, with all sorts of stuff of that nature. So let's start with the apps that I found to be the best assistance for pre-production. And the first one I want to talk about is one called Scripts Pro. It's available for $7.99. Now, this app is a great screenwriting app. It's very simple, the interface is very clean, and allows you to write your scripts on the go. It really makes it easy for you to go ahead and select all the different types and formatting and get everything ready in a professional script format. You can go through and you can preview your script in a page-by-page format. You can see a breakdown of all of the scenes, you can see a breakdown of your characters, and one of the best things is that you can even export your script, and there are numerous file formats. Particularly the one that I use is Final Draft, so I can sync it to my Dropbox, send it out, and continue working on my script on my computer. You can also import scripts from various locations, Dropbox again being one of them. So I think this is a fantastic screenwriting app for anyone who's on the go and might just want to whip their phone or iPad out and do a little bit of work on that script that you've been working on. Now, the next app I want to talk about is an extremely powerful tool, and the price unfortunately reflects that. It's Storyboard Composer HD, and it comes in at a whopping $29.99, available for both the iPhone and the iPad. Now, this may seem incredibly expensive, but like I said, this is an extremely powerful storyboarding app. It allows you to go in, set up all your various storyboards and scenes, and then populate those scenes either with photos from your camera roll or by taking photos through the app. But you can go ahead and you can import some photos from your camera roll that you may have taken for your scene. Go ahead and organize them the way you want your scene to play out. And then you can go in and on each photo or each board, you can go ahead and add camera movements like dolly in, dolly side to side, zoom in, other camera movements. You can put in direction for the actors, you can put in other notes and text, and you can go ahead and lay these out. And once you have everything laid out, you can actually play the storyboard back as a little animatic. Now, once you're finished putting your storyboard together in this, you have the option of going ahead and exporting it as a PDF, and then you can share this PDF with everyone on your crew as a hard copy. Or if you've done an animatic, you can actually export it as a QuickTime movie that you can then save and share with everyone and have a moving storyboard. So even though this is a pretty expensive app, it's extremely versatile and extremely powerful, and I could really see myself getting a lot of use out of this for some blocking and storyboarding purposes. So once you've got that script finished and your storyboard is done, it's time to start organizing your shoot. And everybody knows that scheduling and organizing a shoot can be extremely difficult. So I wanted to look for a scheduling and shot listing app. And pretty much across the board, every recommendation list I could find, this app was on the list. It's called Shot Lister, and it's available for $13.99 for both the iPhone and the iPad. And what it does is exactly what it sounds like. It is a shot list app. It allows you to go in and break down your scenes, add all of the information you need for each of your scenes, rearrange and organize your scenes, your characters, add all sorts of information. You can customize what information appears on your boards depending on what information is pertinent for your shoot. You can go through and on the actual day of, you can break down how much time and build an actual schedule using this app. And then of course you're able to then go ahead and email that and share that with your colleagues. Now, they even have a subscription service, which I believe is $13.99 a year, that extends the functionality of this app and allows you to sync your shot list with other crew members and allows you to directly import scripts, and it will break the script down for you and build the shot list for you. So those are some additional functions that would only be available with the subscription, but the base app itself is absolutely fantastic, and I'm definitely going to be using this on my next short film. The next app that I want to talk about is dealing with media storage and size of your files. Nowadays, with more and more cameras shooting larger files with 4K or RAW and all those other sorts of new codecs, storage space after you've shot your film or even while you're shooting your film on set is a huge issue. And I found an app that helps you to plan for how much storage you're going to need. It's called AJA Data Calc, and it's a free app. And what this does is it allows you to go in and you can select by either length of time or file size and go through, and it has various codecs, recording formats, frame rates, even options for the audio bit rates. And what it'll do is it'll automatically show you how much space X amount of minutes at a particular codec is going to take. This is particularly handy if you use the time calc function and sort of run it in reverse, where you can say, okay, I have a 500 gig hard drive, how much space at this codec can I have? This will allow you to plan for how many hard drives you need to have on set in order to back up all of your data, and maybe will give you an idea that maybe you need to back down on your resolution and shoot a smaller file size if your budget just doesn't permit the amount of data that it predicts you to be shooting. So this is a really handy free app, and I'm glad I found it. Now, this next app can kind of fit into the pre-production genre, but it also sort of moves into the production genre depending on how prepared you want to be for your shoot. But it is a director's viewfinder, and specifically it is the Cadrage director's viewfinder, available for $10.99. Again, kind of a pricier app, but totally worth it, and I've been using it for at least the past year. What it does is it allows you to see what your lens will actually look like on a particular camera body. It has a gigantic library of different cameras and different sensors and formats that you can select from, and then you can go ahead and load in your own particular lens package or use the ones that they have in there, where you can say what focal lengths you have of your lenses, and it will show you what your field of view will be on that particular camera sensor with that particular focal length lens. So you can go ahead and look through and see what lens is going to be best for that tight shot that you want on the next scene, or how wide can you actually get. Now, it does show on the iPhone, sometimes it is wider than the actual range of the iPhone camera, and so it'll give you these sort of blued out areas to the side, letting you know that you'll be wider than what the camera is actually seeing at the moment. You can customize it infinitely. You can change the colors of that section. And another nice feature is that you can go in there and actually snap and save these frames and sort of construct a little storyboard in your camera roll, perhaps to import into a storyboarding app later. So this allows you to really plan out your focal lengths, or if you are shooting with prime lenses and you're on set and you know you want to get this shot, you can look through the director's viewfinder and you can see exactly what lens you need to have your AC put on there so that you can get that exact framing that you're looking for on the camera that you're working with. Now let's move into apps that help with production when you are on set. One of the main things you always need when you're shooting lots of takes and lots of media is a slate. So I found an app, a free app, called QRSlate. This is available for both iPhone and iPad, but obviously having it on a larger iPad would be nice and helpful. So what this is it's a basic slate. It does a free run time code set to the time. You can go ahead and enter your scene number, take number, enter any information about the production, the director, interior, exterior, day, night, MOS, frame rates, all that usual stuff that would be on a slate. And then what you can do is you click and it will start a countdown. It'll give you an audio beep to sync to, and you're off and running. And then it allows whoever's holding the slate there to make some notes and save those notes to a file for that particular take, so you can know exactly what went right or went wrong in that take. And then that file can be emailed off to anyone. Now, I use this slate with just its basic functionality as a slate, and it's great because it's free. Now, it is called QRSlate for a reason. As you may have noticed, it has a QR code on the countdown. And what that does is they actually have a desktop software app that accompanies this, where you import your media at the end of the day, and then you take that emailed data file and put everything into their desktop application, and it will go and read those QR codes and will add the metadata that your assistant entered into the app. It will add that metadata to those files so that they're available when you're editing. I haven't used it for that purpose yet. It seems like an extra step that I usually don't need, but it could be cool. So make sure to go ahead and check that one out. It's free, so why not give it a try? Now, this next tool isn't exactly an app, but it's available for iPad and iPhone format, so I figured I'd throw it in there anyway. There's a lot of new and awesome cameras out there that are too expensive to own, so a lot of times you may be renting a camera you've never worked with for a production. So you might not know how that camera works. And so it'd be nice to have some sort of guide on hand to show you what the camera does and how to do everything. Well, that's exactly what I found from a company called The Black and the Blue, and they have these 99-cent pocket guides. They have tons of cameras in their inventory. You go through, select the pocket guide that you want, and you download it as a PDF that you can then load into iBooks on your phone or tablet, and you can open it up and flip through, and it gives you tons of information on the camera, the different settings, how to use it, even contact information for the company if you need further tech support. So these are a fantastic resource, and at just 99 cents a piece, I really don't see why you wouldn't want to just go ahead and pick up the entire bundle and just have these in case you ever work with one of those cameras. They're really an awesome resource. My next app is one that I've been using for a long time on sets, and every time I use it, it catches the attention of everyone around me, and they're like, whoa, that's pretty cool. You must be very serious. And what it is it's an app that helps me with exterior lighting. And it's literally a tracker for the sun's location. It's called Sun Surveyor, and it's $9.99. And what it is it's an augmented reality viewer that takes your location and allows you to see the sun's path throughout the day through the sky. So if you're shooting outside, you're going to know exactly when the sun is going to be where. And you can scrub ahead, you can scrub back, and it's just so handy to know that, all right, at this time of day, we're going to need to be careful because the sun's going to be coming really harsh through here. Or even if you're shooting inside, you may say, all right, we can't shoot towards that particular window in the second half of the day because the sun is going to be coming straight in it. So it's a simple app, but it's extremely useful for a director of photography to know where that giant light source in the sky is going to be. Now, one thing that can be tricky a lot of times to work with on set and light properly is green screens. So my next app is something to help with that. It's called Green Screener, and it's available for $9.99. And what this does is it uses your iPhone camera and allows you to properly light your green screen to make sure that it's even so you can pull a good key. It allows you to isolate the green channel or the red channel or the blue channel, and it shows you the banding, and it even has different settings for how fine the detail is, and you can lock in some targets, and you can go ahead and basically what it does is it helps you to make sure that your green screen is evenly lit all the way across. It's a really simple tool. I think it's a little expensive at $9.99, but being able to just whip this out and make sure that your green screen is evenly lit all the way across is going to save you a ton of time in post-production rather than not getting it right. Keeping with the theme of visual effects and compositing, my next app is to help you track and replace the screen of an iPhone in your footage. So if you ever wanted to shoot something where you wanted to overlay your own graphics on an iPhone screen in post-production rather than trying to capture it on set, you want to have some markers. So this next app is called VFX Screens, and it is a free app. Always nice to have a free app. And what it is it's a whole bunch of customizable markers for your iPhone screen. It'll go through, you can adjust the background color, you can adjust the types of markers, and one thing that's really nice is it even offers finger tracking. So you can track where the subject's finger is if you wanted something to move and react on your digital phone screen at the same time. Now, some people might say, well, why don't I just get a green image with some markers on it and just save it to my camera roll and pull that up and use that? You could do that, but the problem with that is that eventually the phone goes to sleep, the screen dims and then shuts off. This app keeps that from happening, so you don't have to worry about keep going and keep turning the phone back on and bringing it and waking it back up. This keeps it open, and it's free, so there's no reason not to go ahead and check it out. My next app suggestion is for anyone out there trying to do some time-lapse video, whether you're doing it with a DSLR or even with a video camera that can shoot at intervals. And this app is simple and free. It's called Timelapsical, and I absolutely love it. It's no nonsense, so simple. You open it up, you go ahead and you enter the frame rate that you want your final time-lapse to play at. You enter how long you want your time-lapse clip to be at the end, and then you enter the length of the event that you plan on shooting, and go ahead and calculate, and it'll show you exactly what your intervals should be for your frames, and it'll even tell you how many frames you're going to shoot. There's not much more to it. It just does the math for you and can make everything so much easier when setting up a time-lapse. Sticking with the time-lapse theme, a lot of times some of the coolest time-lapses are over a nice clear night sky or of the Milky Way moving past. And my next app will help you know exactly where that's going to be so you can get set up while it's still light outside and have enough time to get everything set and get that awesome nighttime star time-lapse. It's called Sky Guide, and it's $2.99, available for iPhone and iPad. And what it is it's basically an augmented reality viewer where you move your device around and it will show you what you're looking at in the night sky and where everything is. It'll even show you where stuff is below the horizon. So this will allow you to make sure your camera's pointed in the right direction to capture the coolest part of the night sky and maybe get some awesome parts of the Milky Way in a time lapse. It also has an awesome educational aspect, and you can go in and get the names of all the constellations and even zoom in really far and get some amazing detail of space. It's just a really cool app, and it really helps out when you can't predict what stars are going to be where. And finally, we come to my last app. This is not an app that's really for production or pre-production purposes, but it's something that I think all filmmakers should have and take advantage of. It's called Lenstag, and it is a free app. And what this does is it allows you to catalog your equipment and keep it stored. It keeps information like serial number and all that, and it'll catalog all your equipment. Now, the way this works is it pairs to the Lenstag website where you can go and sign up for an account and begin entering your equipment there. What Lenstag does is it links up an entire global network of filmmakers who all have listed their equipment in there. So if anything happens and something happens where somebody steals your equipment, you can report it stolen on Lenstag, and a report will go out. And hopefully someone else in the Lenstag community, before buying a piece of equipment used from someone, can go ahead and look up the serial number in Lenstag, and it'll show if it's a stolen camera or not. So this is a free resource for you to go ahead and get a little bit of extra insurance in that, just in case. And the more and more people use Lenstag, the larger the community grows, the better the chances are that your lost gear can be retrieved. And it's really a great service. I recommend that everyone go ahead and take a look at it, and having the mobile app is just an added benefit. Alright guys, well that's it for my list of apps that I recommend for filmmakers. Hopefully some of these piqued your interest and you found something there that you think will be able to help you out in your filmmaking process. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and it took me a good while to weed through some of the stuff that was kind of unnecessary or didn't work as well as some of the others, and get it down to just these few core ones that I really liked and felt confident recommending to you guys. So I'll make sure to put links to all of these apps in the description below so you can go ahead and get a hold of them yourself. I know all of these apps are iOS apps. I'm sorry to all you Android guys out there. Some of these apps may be cross-platform, but I mainly use iOS devices, so that's what I focused on and that's what I had for testing. So if you guys liked this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and as always, please subscribe to the channel to keep getting great content like this as I pump it out.